All right, welcome back to DMC Sports. Look what I got. My buddy is going to give me these cards to sort out for him. I'm really excited to see what's in here. I mean, look at this. There's like, I bet there's some Yu-Gi-Oh cards in here. Boo! But there's some cubbies. Look at the cubby. Gary Matthews. What else we got? What's all this? Cincinnati Red cards to separate them. So that's cool. And there's a box. Oh, look at that box. You know what could be in that box? Junk wax. But we'll find out. I'm going to sort them and get back to you. Well, I got to sorting, and I got a big pile of cards here. Look at these. Oh, those are pretty rough. Let me tell you. Let's see here. 1967 was the most. Most of these have, well, you know, they either have a C or an M on them. There's the M and the C. My buddy got these at a garage sale, and they got some better ones, but this is all they could find right now. So I sorted them through to see if I could find anything. And some of these cards are pretty sweet looking. The eye appeal is good. Most of the corners are pretty roached, but some of the card is so it's like out of focus. Some of the cards, yeah, they're not so good, but some still have some nice eye appeal. It's a pretty crisp looking card there of Vic and Jim Brewer. It's like the card that has the most of from the 68. So I really enjoyed going through these. Dick Simpson card, Woody Fryman, All-Star. That's pretty cool. I can't even read his last name. Meal. But going through these and sorting them out and then going through them again and sorting them by year and looking at the cards again and reading some of the backs. It's been really cool. These older type cards, even if they're these commons, I mean, like, I wonder how good Andy Costco really was. And according to this, he wasn't very good. So, Costco. Jesus Alou, you're like, hey, is that Moses Alou cousin, or his uncle, or Jim Lefevre? Is that his dad, the announcer? You know, it is. So you wonder these things. You look them up. So I got a bunch of those. Let's go back up here. These are the 68s. And these are pretty cool. Monday. These cards are in about the same condition as the other ones. But as you can see, some of them are different. This one has the a little bigger on there. I don't know. Just a misprint, I guess. I don't have enough of these to know if that's like a big thing or not. Probably was Herman Frank's manager. Never heard of him. Jim Rowland. Jim Rowland wears his hat forward like he was in the military. And he's a pitcher. And he had a 3.0 ERA. Pitched 16 strikeouts, 17 walks. That's not good. Ken Boyer. Oh, I got this in the wrong place. Rick Wise, Reggie Smith. I pulled out all the ones. He's kind of... He didn't have a glove, but he did. And let's see here. This is the 66s, right? Yeah, 66. There's some team cards. Some of these are damaged. There's paper loss on some of these. And, of course, the miscuts. But again, going through these and looking, these cards look cool. I mean, I really like the design. It's really simple. I don't like them as much as this one. This one's even simpler. It's just, boom, cards, Orioles. I don't know. They just look cool. But of the ones he has here, I like these the best. These are pretty slick with the pennant and the name and the logo, and then it's separated with the border. I mean, these are sweet cards, man. And they're also the oldest ones. So whoever owned these, you know, C or M, there's M right there. I'm guessing that was brother or sister, or sister, or brother. That one's MT. Another squiggle. Maybe they traded. So these are all marked cards on the back. They even marked it on the baseball. So, but still, looking through them, even in their commons. Frank Thomas, wow, look at that. He looks way different back then. The guy's ageless, let me tell you. Hall of Famer. Anyway, so let's look at the hits. There's a whole bunch of cards of like Yu-Gi-Oh! And basketball and football and Yeah, I don't care. There wasn't a whole lot of stars even in there. I'm just going to look at the baseball cards. There's a whole bunch of cards from baseball that was all junk wax era. And I really didn't find anything in there either. A couple rookies, couple of Nolan Ryans, but who cares? This is all about the vintage. This guy, my buddy, a ton of vintage. Let's start with these guys. 1968. That's a little playing card game. It's a Hank Aaron card. I'm pretty darn happy to just be holding this. This is cool. It's the first. Man, that is cool. And then there's Carl Yastrzemski. Never could say very well. Don't make fun of me. But that's really cool. Now, I pulled these out either because of something interesting. Let's see here. Eddie Matthews, super stud. Curt Flood. I pulled these out because this is the reason why we have. He's the reason why we have free agency right now. He sued for it, and he paid dearly. His career was cut shorter than it should have been because the way they treated him kept him on the bench. This had Denny McLain and Jim Kaat in it. This card had Tony Oliva, Frank Thomas, and Al Kaline. There's 2 Hall of Famers on that card. Ernie Banks. Of course, this card's not his rookie or anything, but it's old. One of his last cards. Ron Santo, Hall of Famer. He got put in after waiting a long time. Juan Marichal, Sandy Koufax on this card. And it is marked. This is the best card he has, I think. Pretty much, if you want to look for Hall of Famers. Gaylord Perry, Bob Gibson, Juan Marichal, and Sandy Koufax. If I remember right, those are all Hall of Famers. 5 in one card. And it's a checklist, and it's marked. Sad Panda. Tug McGraw, that's a singer's daddy, right? Yep. Tony Conigliaro. I can't remember how to say it. He died too short. I want to do a video on him about how he died young. It's very tragic. 2 Bob Gibsons. I was telling my buddy about how Bob Gibson was bulldog, a very intimidating guy, and that's how I tried to pitch. But even in the late 80s, you couldn't do that too well. A lot like Pedro Martinez pitched inside a lot, and they called him a headhunter. And he really wasn't like that. I mean, he kind of was. His thing is he just didn't care if he hit you or not. It's kind of your fault. Gaylord Perry, loved this card. He has 4 Whitey Fords. 4. And look how different each one of these look. These kind of look the same. And this one's like, it's like the different shades. I mean, look how blue or green this is compared to this next card. This one's like off. Like they're missing a little bit of blue in the printer. But the Yankee still looks good. Yeah. It's almost like they're different cards. And then in the back, the printing on this one's different. It's much lighter. These 2 are lighter, and this room gets darker. And M, C, C, M. So they split them evenly. So that sucks, but those are actually pretty good compared to some of the cards. This one's, the corners are better, but it's off center, so it's a wash. But you know, Whitey Ford, the trio of boozers from the Yankee era. Luis Aparicio, I can't remember how good he was or not. So this one's got Frank Robinson's face on it and his hat. Look at that. Boom. Ron Santo again. Frank Robinson. It says the Orioles. I was like, was this the year after he got traded to the Reds? Or from the Reds to Baltimore? And it was. He was traded from Milt Pappas. I have a Milt Pappas card just for that. And his first year he went to Baltimore. He hit 49 home runs. He stuck it to Cincy for trading him because he didn't want to go. And they were sick of him running his mouth. So they didn't like him and they sent him off. Big mistake. Big mistake. Willie Stargell, Hall of Famer. This guy's sitting on the back. Boog Powell. Who owned this one? C or M? Nobody. Unmarked card, ladies and gentlemen. It's probably creased. No, it's not. All right, unmarked. This is a checklist with Willie Mays on it. It's filled out. Tony Oliva and Davey Johnson. This is the manager from the 80s and 90s that I liked. I remember he played for the Orioles. Let's see here. Hoyt Wilhelm. He's cool. He pitched for a long time, guys. That guy's cool. Tim McCarver. He's a catcher. He caught Bob Gibson more than any other team in history. Lou Brock. Yeah, look at that. Used to be the stolen base leader. Gil Hodges. when he turned into a manager, no longer a player. That card is really messed up. It's got water damage on it. This is it's got that Tony Caliganaro. Damn, I can't say it. It says right in my head. There's one my show again. Certainly hope he's a Hall of Famer because he's a cool player. These are the oldest cards, and Willie McCovey. I just couldn't get it. It always did that. So the corners are bad. It's got a little crease. It's wrinkled in a couple of places, but I'm really happy that he has this. This is cool. This was owned by M, by the way. And then Frank Thomas. I can't remember why I had Rusty Stop in there. Maybe I just remember him from the 80s. Frank Robinson. This is the right before he got traded. Well, not right before. It's the 65 card, so. Frank Robinson card. Wow. So, well, I wanted to share my pickups, sorting. It's not really pickups, just sorting from my friend all his different cards, what he had. It's just something he picked up at a garage sale years ago. Him and his brother split the cards. And no, they're not C or M. All right? One's name is C. Maybe he did. I can't remember what his brother's name is. Anyway, you guys, I hope you enjoyed looking at these older vintage cards. And check out my next video, which will be about the apocalypse.